Hi, welcome to my tube, my tiny little tube. I'm Margie, Heoka, I'm empath. Think I'm gonna change my name. Somebody asked me today in a message on, I think it was InstaSnap, they could buy my name. Nope, it's mine. Turtle. Turtle, Turtil. I used to wear a backpack everywhere. I still, well, when I go out more. I haven't gone out in a couple years, but whenever I travel, always got to put the amenities in a backpack. I've been trained in all kinds of different areas. Get up and go. We had to bug out from the time I was 5 years old. Then later I enlisted, and then we got to bug out then. All these people are telling me to bug out. And you know what? 46 years, I never found a reason to bug out. Been going over my chart a lot, going over my stats because the astrology is just so crazy. Dimensions and timelines are freaking dancing and high-fiving and saying, hello, old friend, I haven't seen you in years. People are freaking coming in together of this idea of shared consciousness, and it just feels weird. Feels weird. Because I've always been in my spirit, so I'm feeling the collective consciousness, the sum total of all parts of every person on the planet, all the egos, all the spirits, all the negative, all the plus combined. They're starting to become a little bit more congruent. They're starting to come a little bit more from the heart space, and I'd say that's good news. But first, it's going to get awful gnarly and gross for a little bit, because the ego's got to fall. I got ugly and gross when my ego fell. I started drinking after 13 years of consecutive sobriety. I didn't care. When you lose everything, every personal relationship, you know, the idea of and concept of love, because you thought you had it with all these people, and then you come to find out that your definition is completely different than everyone else's. Then you start going down the line because you got nothing but time, and you start pointing all the making all the dots connect. Because I'm in Salem more. I saw the Great American Eclipse from the beginning. I witnessed it. I got some pretty cool pictures. Yeah, you know. And that is when the Great Awakening started for us. And soon the Great Awakening is going to start for India and China too. They're going to come into their spirit. But first they're going to have turmoil, and they're going to fight because they're fighting against themselves, and everybody has to blame somebody. I want to thank... for some reason, when I get on here all day long, I can think of her name. But as soon as I get on here, it's like bloop. It's just totally sucked from my brain, from my energy field. Marge Astrology. But what she goes by. I was trying to address her by her name. Anyway, I listened to her talk this morning, and she said Sagittarius. My mom said Sagittarius. So my mom and I have always had a hard relationship. We have a much softer, loving, more caring relationship now. Thank goodness. But it hasn't always been loving. So I know all the shadow aspects of Sagittarius real well. And actually, I was when I was looking at my placements today, I have Sagittarius in my 6th house, Neptune, and North Node. So that's how, when I read on the placements on what those mean, and then I read about Sagittarius, and then I address that with myself. I'm like, oh, that's why I act like that, or oh, that's why I feel that way. That makes a lot of sense to me. See, all this stuff is the oldest science in the world. It just was hidden, so some people could take advantage of it, because some people just like to take advantage. Like how it was recently discovered last week that freaking for 30 years they've been putting freaking babies with pedophiles. I'm like, yep. Doesn't surprise me a bit, because money matters more than people, you know. So just to give you a little bit background of who's I ams, if anybody cares to know what my planets are. my placements are. I'm Aries Sun, Scorpio Moon. I got Pisces and Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter. Gemini. I got Mars and Saturn. Pluto, Libra. Lilith, Capricorn, and Capricorn in Lilith Capricorn. But I also have Capricorn in my 6th and 7th house. Oh, did I mention that my rising was Cancer? My ascendant, and I also have it, or that's my first house. Ascendant is your rising house, and I also have it in my 2nd house too. So, if you know anything about astrology right now, that's why I named the title what it is what time are you in? Because I've been in the olden days for 4 years. Yeah. Or maybe I'm in the future. Who knows? I haven't had running water in 3 years. So maybe is that going to happen in the future to everybody else? I hope not. It's very inconvenient. I got to tell you. That's why the next place I want to live next to a moving source of water. Yeah. See, I've always been a tenderfoot. I've always been outdoors and nature, and I've been collecting data on how to survive my whole entire life. Because my spirit is always called to learn how. Why? Because I was put in a position early on in life where I had to survive. I didn't come from one of those families where those helicopter parents live. You know, where you care about you care. You control every freaking facet of your child's life. That is what, and they're all over. They're everywhere. And now these kids are freaking cutting their reins of control off, and they're like, nah, I'm not gonna live the way you've been living your life. I knew Benny was gonna do this. He loves to make a grand entrance. Benzo, get your Bennyosity in here. Come on, Benny. Come on, Benny. Where'd he go? Come on, handsome man. Come on. Come on, handsome man. Oh, no. Doing a video. It's that time of day to make a video, but Benny got to make an appointment, and Benny got to walk in, and Benny got to say, look at Benny. Benny here. Look at my tuchus. Nobody wants to see that. Kick rocks. Just in the nick of time. Time ain't real. Anyway. What was I talking about? No more copyright infringements. What was I talking about before I was so rudely interrupted by Benny? Oh, Marge Astrology, I could go back to that. So, she gave me a couple different lines of thinking. Actually, thank you. I appreciate that. See, because I listen to talks all day, whether I agree with people or not. I mean, I agree with most. I'm in alignment with Marge Astrology. I'm not speaking of her in this sense, but a lot of times, like, I just collect that all day. I don't care if I like the person or not, you know, because it has nothing to do with feelings, or, you know, but if they got stuff to say that's important, then I'm going to listen to them. And I really like when people send me recommendations too, especially music. Oh, loving the music. So, in Bluetooth, has this been happening to you? Are you having a hard time syncing your Bluetooth stuff? Dude, the frequency of the planet is just all over the place. It's everywhere. Like, I'm having, I know my vibrational frequency is raising, but, like, I just walked out of the room and my stuff was playing and I had to walk in, only so I could hear it, because I'm tired of I always get copyright stuff from these people. And then, I walked back in and I just had to resync my stuff, you know. So technology is glitchy. So I was like, when are the scientists going to start coming up with the ideas to, you know, modify start making the technology to... I did notice that Apple is cutting ties with Intel, so Intel's probably on its way down. But they're going to start making their own chips. Those dips are making their own chips, so there's going to be a great shift, you know. See, people are bringing all this stuff back home. It's grassroots. I did a video 2 years ago called Back to Grassroots. look in my search. I've done over 1,000 videos. I've just done nothing but research putting this stuff together. And okay, so Marge Astrology, she had a freaking rude, a rude awakening. She walked out on her porch this morning to a black bear. And it's funny because I'm like, and she's saying all this stuff, and I'm making these connections, you know, and I'm just like, you know, and so I cut and paste in totem animal of what bear represents. So go look it up right now. I recommend, or not now, but later. Go recommend, well, you know. And she also said that her dog, Anu, it means black bear, or is a black bear, or something like that. And I'm just like, she doesn't even realize that her dog is an aspect of her spirit in one incarnation, in one vibrational frequency. The bear is her spirit in another, and they all came together at once. That's 3 different dimensions, 3 different timelines coming together at once. And I'm like, does she not? I gotta tell her. So that's how in alignment she's coming in, is the way I look at it. That's the way I see it, you know. I thought that was really freaking cool when she was telling that story. And she's like, you know, and that's the thing, is that people are having more experiences to make them come in alignment. And then I noticed, I was watching her the rest of the video, and she's hypervigilant. See, that's the thing, is when something happens like that, that isn't, you know, natural, but it's natural, if that makes sense, or if it doesn't, then that's when things happen with you know that people are raising, and they're ascending in their spirit. They're stepping out of their ego more, and they're looking at their own behavior and going, you know what, acting like that, it don't work for me, you know. Hating people because of the freaking color of their skin, you know, that ain't working for me. Even though my mom and dad did it, and their mom and dad did it, and they were, just because they were always doing what they were told to do, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut ties with the, I was just doing my job squad. Because that's a low vibrational frequency, and anybody that says that, anyone that that says that you can't help another human because you're bound by some sort of obligation of, you know, a paycheck, money isn't even real. A connection between a human spirit is. So that's what people are really coming into, I do believe. And so once people recognize that when something happens emergical like that, and you're scared to death, you get scared, like your adrenaline's pumping. I've had this stuff. I got manhandled when I was 10 months old. You know, I mean, I touched electric fences when I was 5. I almost drowned when I was 6. I mean, I've seen the light several times. I just keep getting pushed back onto this earth because evidently there's something I'm supposed to do. Well, when I was a kid, I was just that little retarded kid. Yeah, I was that little retarded kid with the speech impediment. My name is Marge. I'm a girl. I hated talking because people would just repeat what I said and make fun of me. Yep, because my mind moves so fast that sometimes my body and my mouth don't cooperate. That's why I'm clumsy. That's why a lot of people are clumsy. Is because they're doing too many things at one time, that they're not living in the present moment. And I had to learn lesson after lesson after lesson on how to live in the present moment. And every time I didn't live in the present moment, or if I didn't for too long, meaning I'm worrying about stuff that already happened that I have no control of, or I'm worrying about stuff that hasn't happened yet that I have no control of, if I'm not living in the present moment, those vibrational frequencies of fear are going to keep me in the vibrational frequency of fear, thus drawing to me things that are going to scare me. Everybody's becoming more sensitive. I checked the freaking weather yesterday, and it's like 84 today. I'm hot. I'm more sensitive. I don't have air conditioner to keep the house a certain, you know, so when it comes up on temperatures like this that are unseasonal, you know, my inner thermostat's going, whoa, it's not supposed to be. But yeah, it's not supposed to be like this. It's not, it feels weird, you know, but we're flipping and flopping through timelines and dimensions and stuff. At least I'm comfortable. At least the dogs are comfortable. Nobody's panting today. I got to put the window unit in. It's funny how things are changing so fast, and you're going to get a lot of, I swear it wasn't like that a second ago. That's because any, like, tools that are used to measure things, like forecasts and stuff like that, you're just paying them to do nothing at this point. Because frequency is just completely out of whack. And it's Mercury retrograde. That it's divine. So stuff is going to break. People that are going to get their message out are going to get their message out. People that aren't supposed to get their message out, no matter how hard you try, ain't going to fly. Because the way it's supposed to go is there's a way that the nation was supposed to be before the greedy. The whole earth. See, that set precedence for the whole earth to greed up. And nobody wants that. So, things are calibrating. People are coming back into who they are. You know, that kid space of who they were before they started caring more about money and chasing sensation and sticking parts into parts and all that stuff. When it was just cool to be a kid and freaking play and not have to worry about all that adult stuff. That's the heart space that we're moving into. And I just think about all the things that, like me, like all the things that my ideas just keep. I just keep pieces of paper next to me and I write notes and stuff. You know, and I just keep thinking it's fun stuff that people would want to do, and more stuff like anger stations, you know, where you could go and frickin', you know, throw an axe at a rest stop. You know, get some. You know, dial in and get focused. Get your chi back. Call them ego deflation stations. Yeah. Sounds good to me. I got so many ideas. Just having fun. They're making the world a fun place because people have just created this cognitive dissonance of creating these storylines of these made-up military conflicts, and I'm here to tell you they're imposed lines of thinking. And people like me to transmute the freaking frequency of hate, and to make up and to say, I was wrong for being a part of an organization that went into third world countries in places like Iraq and bombed people in their homes and their families and killed them in the streets. And then the boys, your precious little boys, your precious little mama's boys that can never do anything any wrong, found that they loved living in the shadows. And then they came home and went and worked in all the local cop shops. Good old boy comes home and interjected that seedy, gross, cheater, egotistical, draining swamp. I don't have water, but they're getting an $80 million cop shop right downtown, taken from the wages to pay for the city bill. And I still get a $54 city bill. Yeah, I'm paying it down from $1,300. Yeah. I got some trouble now because I got retrograded on Friday. Tried to order groceries online, and I didn't, because I always have my location stuff shut off unless I'm using it, and I don't use it very often, so I don't like to let people know everything, little thing I'm going and doing, and because it's none of their business. It's data collection, and unless you're going to pay me for selling the places I go and all and all that stuff, then that's one thing. But no, you don't pay. You just take. That's what that greedy vibration. You know, and my heart goes out to all you guys that, you know, are gonna figure out that your freaking dear old dad, if they're a lieutenant colonel or a major or a captain or a general or a full board colonel, they're all scumbags. And they all made a lot of money, more money than God, from killing and murdering innocent people in impoverished countries. So when you're resolving the wreckage of your past, and you're so righteous and standing up for all the people of all the brown shades and blacking out your little squares and stuff, why don't you take some of that blood money that Daddy worked not very hard to get, mind you, and go give it and put it in the hands of the people on the streets? That just give it to them, cash. Because I know these they freaking pay themselves more than. That's why all the tax. That's what all the billions of dollars are for, is to feed the egos of these old crotchety fucks that are popping freaking Viagra and taking kids. You know, they're probably freaking. You know, oh, how the mighty are going to fall. Because you can't live in ego for 50, 60, 70, 80 years and get to live in peace when you have caused so much unrest. Hey-ho. Yep. That's the thing. I could bust them all out. I will bust them all out. Same thing with pharma too. Big pharma. You know, all the sales representatives. You feel bad for what you're endorsing? People give, every dollar is a vote. Every dollar. That's how they keep track of what they that's how they keep track of what people are going to endorse. But what are people endorsing now when they find out all the freaking egotists, you know, the disgusting, you know, what pro sports really are? It's all freaking the swamp. Pro sports, politics, it's all the swamp. Are you going to be able to accept that when your precious baby boy you can't go watch him play football and make you proud? That he might have to use his fucking brains and go get a job? Can he? Did you raise him right? Welcome to the world of accountability. Taking responsibility for yourself and your own actions. That's why I'm trying to pay down my $1,300 city bill. Even though doesn't mean I gotta right back. No, I just speak openly and freely of the matters and accounts of the experiences that I've had with several persons at all different levels in this fucking city. And that's why I'm leaving the 45th parallel. It don't feel good here. People are finding it doesn't feel good where you live. It doesn't feel good. People are finding out that things that they have done before isn't in alignment with them anymore. It's just not. It's just not working. Drinking, it removes your spirit. It literally takes oxygen from your blood. So when you get in trouble for like DUI and stuff, they're measuring the alcohol versus oxygen ratio in your blood. The only thing that keeps us alive is our breath and its willingness to cooperate with the spark in our heart and for everything to work at the same time. You know? We have all these independent systems in us that are its own little planet. Our kidneys, our lungs, they all work together to make sure that we have breath. And then so when people replace that spirit with alcohol or drugs, you're just saying, hey, ego, I'm less spirit now. Step on in. I don't give a fuck. I know, because I speak from experience. I was drunk for 13 years because people didn't care about me, so I don't give a fuck. So I'm not going to care about them. But every time I drank, I got hurt. Because I hurt my own feelings every time I drank because of the stuff I think about. Being lonely and being uneducated and not being really cute or, don't have a lot going on in the looks department. I'm short. I was 5'3 3/4. Now I'm 5'2 because Uncle Sam took a freaking 1 3/4 from my back because I worked too hard, because I was an egomaniac. because I was a chick that had her first female incarnation after having several as a male, so I was not comfortable in a female body. And I was born into this short little thing because mom had Addison's disease, so I was like stunted my growth. I was like the runt without being born with the pack. So I'm all extra sensitive. You know, and that's the thing, is everybody's becoming more extra sensitive. So they're seeing stuff. I see in frequency. We see in frequency. It's when you put on the glasses, that's adjust your amount, adjust your behavior. It just makes you look at everything the same all the time. Yeah, you see clear and in clarity, but you don't see like vibration and like alchemy. I didn't see alchemy as much when I wear my glasses all the time, you know? Just like steam and just energy and just, I love it. Rays of light through trees and stuff. I posted up some photos today. I had a photo montage with a dragonfly, a red dragonfly. I gotta look that up. I got an idea what dragonfly means, but I know that red probably means something more I think it means someone's gonna die, actually. Now that I think about it. And his wings were all forward. See, this is why I need to freaking make connections with some folks, some that have been indigenous to this land as long as my mom has, that knows more about the history. Or my mom's bloodline has. It was all the way back from like 1599, I think, or the early traces, something like that. So, because I know that all these meanings have significance and stuff like that. I took a bunch of pictures. We had a photo montage and I put them on. And I'm so educated. That's the thing, is people do stuff like this and I could be summoning it. You know what I mean? I mean, like, all these things mean something and have symbolisms and stuff like that, you know, and it means one thing to me, and then somebody else, you know, with a different frame of reference sees it and like identifies me as something freaking crazy because of some storyline they're told. That's how people are finding out that people think that there's one Earth, so everybody's having the same experience. No, there's one Earth, and supposedly, I think they make up numbers anyway. I think there's like maybe about freaking 4 billion people on the Earth instead of 7. I think they grossly overinflate everything. It's what egomaniacs do. So what the states and the governments, they say, oh, there's all these millions of people that we have to take care of, and then they subsidize all these programs and everything to take care of all these people, but it never gets, the help don't get to the people. They just create new offices to help people and have new campaigns to help people, but all you have is more offices and more employees to help the people that already have jobs and things to do. And the cracks of society keep getting wider. So people are figuring out it's all just a racket. It's all just smoke, mirrors, you know, for show. But the reality of it is people have this, you know, spirit that has been freaking, I don't know, denounced, ignored, locked away. I don't know, ask yourself, where's your spirit? You know you have a spirit? You know that when you take your last breath, that you freaking, it's alchemy. We all matter. We all are matter. Energy doesn't die. Our last breath is like, it's like DNA steam. You know? Maru or whatever her name was talking about that earlier, about junk DNA. No, that's our spirit. DNA, so we take our last breath, it goes out into the solar system where you hang out with your divine family. And then you decide what you want to do next. It's all kind of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad